This is Karen from Home Cooked Books, and this video is all about using a free downloadable sound editor to take your entire chapter and edit it down to a very short teaser that you can use in social media videos. WavePad is available for Mac and for PC, and it's pretty easy to use, so I recommend it. So here's what it looks like once you've installed it and opened it up. The first thing we're going to do is create a new file. And before we can start editing, we have to figure out which chapter we want to use. So going back here, I don't know about you, but I keep a bunch of quoted teaser quotes. I'm not very good at saying where they are in the book, however, so I have to go and look up this quote, find out what chapter it's in. So I found it here. I didn't even know it was Tuesday. Is the end of the quote. Oh, now I gotta find it again. Didn't even know it was Tuesday. There we go. So I'm going to find out that's in chapter 18, and it's right before a break. So we'll go back to our editor. I'm going to go to the folder on my desktop where I have all of my finals. You do want to use your high quality MP3 that you would upload to ACX or Findaway. So I'm going to select chapter 18, and then I'm just going to drag it. Okay, why are we doing this to me? It's not letting me drag. Let's just go back. All right, so we know it's here, and then we're going to drag that baby. There we go. Over, and then we'll get rid of that, get it out of the way. So this is our entire chapter, and we want to sift through it all to get it down to a 7 to 30 second clip. It kind of depends on what you're doing. If you're doing a slideshow, you can have a longer piece of narration. If you're doing a video, you want it to be shorter, generally speaking, on TikTok anyway. So like I said, we know that it was toward the beginning. So one thing we can do, especially if it's a really long chapter, is just get rid of the part that we know we're not going to need. So we're not going to need most of this chapter. We know it's at the beginning. So what I'm going to do is put my cursor on a break somewhere that I know I don't, that won't get rid of what I'm looking for. Then I'll go up here to edit. And there are two main things we're going to use here are cut and trim. So we're going to go down to trim, and we want this to be the trim end. So we're deleting everything after the selection. We hit that, boop, and it all goes away. So now we have less to sort through, and we can listen. Hopefully we didn't do too much of it. We can always undo it if we did. So just hit and see where we are.
A whine from Blondie is the reality check I need right now.
Oh, I think we went too far. So we'll undo that. Command Z, put it all back. Let's just get rid of less. There we go. So we'll trim again. Edit, trim end. All right, and let's see if we can figure out where we are.
I can barely think 2 words in a row, but 2 words do eventually pop into my brain and fall out of my mouth. Valentine's Day.
All right, so we're in the right area. He says somewhere in here, Valentine's Day. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a kind of a big section here so we can play with a couple of different ways of cutting this up. So what we're going to start with is don't worry, I've screwed up on this stupid holiday too. So see if we can find that.
When I don't answer, he grins. Don't worry.
We got lucky. So, but I'm close. but I want to get even closer. So this is when we're going to use our zoom in. We're going to come down to this little house-shaped guy, and we're going to slide it over until we can get a better view of the waveforms. So we're going to start here. We'll just put our cursor there and check.
Don't worry, I've screwed up on this stupid.
Yeah, so that's where we want to start. So we're going to put our cursor back there, and this time we're going to trim and get rid of everything before the selection. All right, so now we want to figure out where we want this to end. I think we're going to end with only a miracle is going to get you laid tonight for now. Let's see if we can find that now. We'll see where we are.
Since there are loads of Jessica Abrahams.
Nope, that wasn't it.
Having sex with the woman I pretty much drove from my apartment.
Whoop, even further up.
Man, I didn't even know it was Tuesday.
Here we go.
He winces. Only a miracle is going to get you laid tonight.
All right, so we're going to again place our cursor, and we're going to get rid of, go back to trim, delete everything after the selection. So what's useful about this is now we can see how long this whole area we might want to use is, and it's 45 seconds. So that is way, way too long for any kind of social media video, right? People have short attention spans. So we have two things we can do. We can just use a shorter section, or we can cut interiorly to get rid of things inside. So what I want to do first is save this whole section. So I'm going to save the file as, click that, comes up, and we're going to call it Valentine's Day 45. So we know that's the 45 seconds, and we want it to be an MP3, and so we just hit save, and that will go down, save to our desktop. If we decide we want to go back and pull something in a different way, then we have it. So I'm going to go back here and look at the text. What I think would be fun to do is try to just have the dialogue here. So we'll cut out all the descriptions in between. So we've started with don't worry.
Get her some flowers and chocolates and beg forgiveness. I guess I'm still half asleep because I'm missing something here. He hooks a thumb at the...
All right, so we're going to get rid of this description. He hooks his thumb. All right, so here we're going to use, what I've done is I placed the cursor at the, this is pretty obvious, right? It's cut and paste. We're just going to place the cursor, drag it over to what I want to get rid of. When that's highlighted, we're going to go up to cut, or you could use also Command X and cut it. Now, there's also kind of a big pause here. So I'm also going to get rid of a little bit of that pause. Cut. Ship. All right, so now we've just got the dialogue back and forth at the beginning.
I guess I'm still half asleep because I'm missing something here. February 14th? I can barely think 2 words in a row, but 2 words do eventually pop into my brain and fall out of my mouth. Valentine's Day.
Right. So we don't need all this discussion here. So we're going to cut, get rid of that, come up here, cut. All right. Valentine's Day.
Tell me you didn't wake up next to a beautiful woman and forget to at least say Happy Valentine's Day. Man, I didn't even know it was Tuesday. He winces. Only a miracle.
Okay, so we're going to get rid of this. Again, getting rid of the stage directions. Now, when we've done that, we've gotten it down to 30 seconds. So that might be something we'd want to use at some point. I think we could trim up a little bit of these transitions a bit more if we wanted. this narrator who I love. I'm going to do it with the, he does, however, take long pauses. We can just tighten things up a little bit more. And maybe here. And here. Okay, so now we've definitely got it down to 30 seconds. So again, we are going to save this as Valentine's Day 30. We might want to use that for a slideshow. So we're going to keep that. But let's see, we want to have maybe we want to do a really short video. So let's think of what section of this. I think it's this part. Tell me you didn't wake up next to a beautiful woman. Man, I didn't even know it was Tuesday. So I think that starts here.
Tell me you didn't wake up next to a beautiful...
Yeah. So again, we can use our trim function. We're going to delete everything before. And then we're going to end with...
Man, I didn't even know it was Tuesday. Oh.
So we'll just get rid of everything after. And now we have something which is still could be shorter. It's a little over 9 seconds. So let's just trim a little at the beginning. And trim a little of this transition. Now it is almost exactly 9 seconds, which is a pretty good length. So I'm good with that. So again, we are going to save this guy as Valentine's Day 09. Okay, so now we get rid of this guy, and we have these, we have 3 MP3s that you can then drag and drop into Canva. You can pull into a video onto TikTok. There's, and I'll get into how to do that in another video soon, but that's what I've got for now. Let me know if you have any questions.